I didn't like singing when I was younger. I thought I didn't like the sound of my voice. And then I thought, I'll do something about this. So I went to a voice workshop and lost my inhibitions and thought, yeah, I can do this. It's okay. I can make a decent enough kind of sound. And the first choir I joined was called the Prima Donnas. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but it was a lesbian feminist choir back in the early 90s. It was a bit daunting. It was in the what was it called? It was in Holborn, and it was called, I think it was just called the Women's Centre, and it was a big building, and they had a large hall where they held events and rehearsals and so forth, and I walked in there and introduced myself. Quite a lot of sort of feminist anthems, and there was one song called Nana Was a Suffragette, which I quite liked, and yeah, lots of things. Trying to find things that were sort of particularly representative of women and women's lives at that time. In some ways it was positive, but I think there were quite a lot of negative things about it, and I like being inclusive in my approach to things rather than separating myself off. I think it's important for people to get along together, whatever their gender identity or background. And then I switched over to the Pink Singers because I think they had a more diverse repertoire. It seemed a lot of fun, and they went places and went abroad, and they sang things from musicals and classical and jazz, and yes, because Prima Donnas was women only, and Pink Singers isn't. Okay. When I first joined in 1995, it was a lot smaller, and I did look at a list of choir members from I think it was around 1996, and there were 30 men and 13 women, and there were occasions in the early days I'd turn up at rehearsals and be the only soprano. We did get more sopranos and altos, and as time went on. I think it's probably historical the way it started off, and then more women joined, and also I think back in the sort of late 80s and early 90s, there was a bit of separatism going on, and maybe that contributed towards it.